Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan, and I am joined by some very good friends, and maybe your friends as well. First, the droid from the void, Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I am Jamie, and I play Elo, the modified medical droid.
And singing our theme song music. Now I know that's what it is. The one, the only space ace, Alex Herrera.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I play Beegax Botano, the Doug Slicer.
Oh, we you feel that energy? We're fueled by fish.
Ooh.
And by persnickety cats and
by, don't forget our unofficial, not real sponsor. I wish they were our sponsor, Perrier.
Perrier. Yeah, if you want to sponsor us, we'll take it. We'll drink it. We'll gulp down your pretentious sparkle water.
Oh, well, they're gone now.
And they're gone. All right.
Sparkle beverage or whatever.
Well, it was a nice dream while it lasted.
What else did we lose? We lost something once before too. I don't remember.
There have been many losses in our intros for sure. But let's focus on the gains. The gains of maybe knowledge, maybe information, whatever your characters are going to find out when we pick up where we last left off. So, let's get into it. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 26, Reunion. After an exhaustive search, Elo and Beegax have finally found the son of Elo's former master, a Bothan spy named Gir Tu'Tey, hiding out in the isolated city of Cjallysce'i. Spending time and resources to track him down has embroiled the fringers in several criminal enterprises, and deals have been made with all types of unsavory citizens of Socorro. Can this reunion bring the closure Elo is looking for? What other agreements will our fringers make or break just to survive? Life and loyalty tips in the balance out here at the Empire's edge.
Let's roll the destiny dice. Let's do the destiny roll.
One light side, baby.
I got one dark side.
I also got one dark side.
And as I usually do before we sit down, I called upon the wills of the Force and put up a Twitter poll. That's at Respect the Crit on Twitter if you ever want to vote in those polls and see when they go up to influence our game here, to gift either an additional light side or an additional dark side point to our players. And it was very, very close, but the Wills have decided to give you an extra light side point.
Thank you, Wills.
Yes. Thank you, Wills. Thank you, Wills.
All the Wills out there. Will A, Will B, Will C.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. Yeah, all the Wills.
Will Wheaton, if you're listening to this, please, let's collaborate. That would be fun, wouldn't it? That'd be great.
Just want to say hi.
Yeah. You could play a Will of the Force, quite literally. It would be so good.
Oh, yeah.
So, how many did you get, Jamie? 2 light side or 1 light side?
I just got 1.
Okay, so we are short 1. We only have 4 points then, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 dark side points, 2 light side points, and one of those light side points, when used, will disappear from the game. Our camera begins to pull back slowly on what looks like stars. But these points of light begin to come to life with tiny sparks of electricity arcing between them. Light begins coursing through circuits and along wires, through nodes, and we are rising out of the valley of a complicated computer chip. And as we pull out faster now, we realize we're actually not in space. We're in something electronic. Life and light in the form of electric energy surges through veins of synthetic conduits. We pull out faster and faster, the world around us getting smaller and smaller as we move from the micro to the macro, through metal and mechanics and sensors, until finally we realize as we pull out fully that we are staring at the face of a droid. And this droid is unique in that they are made up of very many parts, and they are standing in a room that they recognize. It is a room from one of their very first memories, and the place where they were first activated in. There have been shutdowns, power downs, and reactivations in their life, but this is the earliest one they can remember. Also in this room is a human woman and a Doug, who has a very peculiar and sort of rudimentary slicing gear deck that's sort of attached to him on his back and around his arm. It does have some sick LED lights, though. It does look very cool.
Yes, it does.
We sprung for those.
Yeah.
Philips Hue bulbs, if you're listening, sponsor us.
There's also a disco function button that if you just, it'll just light up.
Yeah. And I imagine like one that syncs up with like audio wave files, so it'll like play to the beat of whatever track he's
Windows
listening to.
Media player.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Looking down from all of these people in this room is a male Bothan who is staring from up above a hatch that leads from the room up into another room, and with a ladder connecting them. He is pointing a light blaster down at all of you, and he says, "Hello, hello." This is Gir Tu'Tey, by the way. It's no secret.
Yes.
You recognize him immediately.
Elo is going to slowly lift their arms into the air and just say, "Hello, Gir. It's been a long time."
Yes, it has. Put your weapons on the ground and kick them over to the ladder. Verse grips the rifle tighter, and she just says, "Why don't I put you down?"
Oh, come on, everybody. Chill out. Relax. He'll reach for his... I think I have my disruptor pistol, right? I'll pull it out from the holster that I have on the chest. Yeah, no need for any problems here. I'm gonna put it on the ground while still looking at Gir. So I assume you're Gir. You're the guy we're looking for. And he'll look at Elo, right?
That's correct. And what's the meaning of this, Gir?
Just take it nice and slow. Everyone put your weapons on the floor, kick them over here to me. And then everyone step back to where Elo is, right on the other side of that table, if you wouldn't mind.
Not a big fan of you swiping my expensive weapon there, Chief. I'll leave it here and I'll move back, but if you want to get it, you're gonna have to come pick it up yourself. Yeah, he'll put it... It's on the ground, but he's not gonna kick it. He's gonna walk not as far back as he wants, but far back enough where, like, there's a sense of, like, if he took the gun, there would be enough time for him to run away. Not for me to get him. Like, it's not the full distance. Probably about halfway back.
Got it. Verse follows suit. She, like, lays the rifle down, pushes it over a little bit, takes out her pistol as well, puts it on the ground, slides it over, and sort of, like, backs up to where Beegax is. And she's kind of standing in front of him just a little bit. Gir, like, gestures with his blaster, and he's like, no hard feelings. You don't stay alive in this line of work for as long as I have without being careful. Nothing personal.
Yeah, sure. It's not like we've been flying around, different star systems looking for you and getting shot by pirates and hacking, all kinds of things. Yeah, not a big deal. No big deal.
When Beegax mentions having come across the galaxy to get here, Elo is going to be sort of reminded out of this moment that they have a message for Gir from his father, and I don't even know if Gir knows that his father is dead. Would I have the message that I experienced in our first episode that I would be able to share in some sort of like hollow
if I remember correctly, I think you like saved a copy of that in your person. And so I think you could definitely share that.
Okay, so Elo is going to slowly put their arms down and just say, "Now wait a minute, Gir. I was sent here by your father." And they're going to reach for this hollow and...
As you reach for it, Gir like sort of just like gestures with the pistol to like stop. And he says, wait, hold on, Elo. Before you do anything, I want you to reach over to that table and grab that restraining bolt and attach it to yourself, if you wouldn't mind. If you look over on the on a table near you in this room, with all this like stuff, there is a restraining bolt there, and a restraining bolt is basically like handcuffs for droids. They like override your programs for a variety of things, but this one seems to look like it's a simple one.
I think Elo would look over to Beegax to be like, well, Criff. And they'll reach over to this restraining bolt and attach themselves while like hitting the play button. I'm not playing around. I'm like,
you're like,
okay,
do it. Yeah.
fine.
You're like, yeah, got it. Okay. So yeah, you take, and it's kind of just like, it's sort of like a little metal peg that's maybe about the size of, I don't know, like a big old bottle cap or something, maybe a little bit bigger than that, a little thicker. But yeah, you attach it to yourself, and it gives you two directives, just two. The first is that, and you can see this like sort of like overwriting your programming as it goes in. The first is that you can't remove this restraining bolt yourself. And the second one is you can do no harm to Gir Tu'Tey.
All right. If it's like one of those terms and conditions before use, Elo will accept.
I don't think you have a choice. I think the minute you put it on,
there's a whole scroll, yeah, right. And it's like...
like, no, you can't just accept until you've scrolled all the way to the bottom and then checked this little box, and then you can accept.
Cool, yeah, so boom. And as you do that, there's nothing stopping you from playing this message. So you click that on. What does that look like? What is it that you're doing with that? How are you playing that? Like, where is it being projected? Or
I sort of pictured like in Elo's palm, like maybe just like sort of projected like the hollows that you see in the movies, you know, where they have those little discs or whatever. But I picture it coming from Elo's hand. So they'll just reach their arm out over towards Gir and play it so that he can hear his father's final words.
You play this message, yeah, like you extend your palm out, and as this restraining bolt is like turning on, a small hollow projection comes out of Borsk Tu'Tey. We see an older Bothan. It doesn't convey color very well, but you can see sort of like around the beard is like less kempt and like gray, sort of like graying muzzle, sort of like lighter coloration than around him. And he has a prosthetic arm. Does he have a prosthetic leg too, or is it just the arm?
I cannot remember.
Okay.
I think it might have been both.
He has some prosthetics from his adventuring, and I imagine like as the audio is going, so too like the waveform on Elo's mouth is like moving with the audio, and maybe like the eyes are blinking as well. And this message plays.
If you are seeing this, then my time in the galaxy has ended.
It's a very somber message about passing on and passing this on to Elo, who needs to find Gir Tu'Tey and give him some information, a message of his own, and as well as some effects that belong to him now. And then the message ends, and Gir, like, you see him sort of like watch it all the way through, and he doesn't seem as affected emotionally as you might think, seeing a message from his dead father. And he says, "Well, then the old bastard is finally dead. I guess there is some justice in the galaxy after all." And he steps down the ladder, still like training the blaster, going slow, one rung at a time, until he's into the room with you, and sort of like kicks the weapons a little bit further away from you all. "So, Elo, word on planet is that you've been looking for me for a while. What is it you have come to tell me? Was it just that my father is dead? Or is there something else? Why have you come?"
That end, he has a message for you.
"Where is it? Do you have it on you?"
I don't think that I do I? It's with all of the personal effects on the ship.
I think so, yeah.
I thought this was going to go very differently. I thought it was going to be like, "Yo, Gir, we got your stuff. You're inheriting a bunch of stuff." And he was going to be like, "Dope, man." But no, not in Star Wars. So yeah, I don't think that I do. And Elo will respond matter-of-factly because they still think that this is going to go a certain way. Despite what is happening with him kicking our weapons and things, it seems like just a misunderstanding to them. "We didn't bring it with us. We didn't really have time. It's been busy on this planet. You need to come back with us to the ship."
"And where is your ship?"
"Currently," and then Elo's gonna look over to Beegax. "Our ship is at the casino, or the newly coming casino."
Yeah, it's a hot special coming soon.
"Wait. Your ship is at the casino, and you are here in Cjallysce'i. How did you get here? What?"
Look, kid, I think you're younger than me. Anyways, it's been a long journey, alright? We went through some underground tunnels, we made some dealings with people. It's a mess, and the one sure thing we had was to find you and give you the message from your dad. So, if you're done with the tough guy spy act, I'd like our stuff back, and I'd like us to all go back, hopefully with a speeder, to the casino to get on our ship, give you the message, get some closure for you and your folks, or just you and your dad, and we can be on our way.
He like smiles at Beegax, and he's like, "And thank you very much. It is very flattering that you consider me youthful. But call me kid again, and you will be tasting laser."
Yeah, fair point. Alright.
"What are these underground tunnels you speak of? These I am interested in."
I mean, looks like some of them were man-made and some of them were not. Mostly they were not. Those natives, I think they made them. You know, the weird-looking things with the bones coming out of them, but not really. Actually, there's a bunch of dead ones that we saw on our way in here. But, yeah, there's tunnels that the Hutts used to, and he's gonna have his hands in air quotes, move merchandise. And we got the okay to use it and come here.
He like rubs his chin with his hand, and he's like, "Oh, so there are tunnels running from here to the Hutt Casino. That is interesting indeed. I knew that there were many network of lava tubes under Socorro, but I had no idea that they were so connected."
Wait, these lava tubes? What do you mean?
Well, lava tubes, old lava tubes. They're not active currently, but the whole planet is, if you haven't noticed, one giant piece of volcanic work.
It's just gonna go right over Beegax's head, like he doesn't know about anything that has to do with geology of any kind. Oh yeah, okay, great. He just like shrugs. So, are we going, or are you gonna keep this up?
I don't want to go by any dark tunnels. I prefer speeder.
Well, he looks at Elo and then Verse. I hope you have one, because we don't.
Well, I know where I can get one.
Alright. Sounds good. And he looks at his gun set like across the room. Can I have my weapon back, please?
Who are you exactly?
Oh, ha! How rude of me. Sorry. Name's Beegax. Used to live on Malastair, as you can see. Been different parts of the galaxy. I owe a lot of favors to your family medical droid here. So I'm helping them find you and get the message to you. Repay the debt. This is Verse. This is our personal bodyguard, best friend forever. And he kind of like makes this really sarcastic, shit-eating grin. And we got other friends too. We got an old man who I think is like not a Jedi, but he knows of the Jedi. And then I got, what's his name? Creed. He's another hired help. But we're all on the level, I can assure you.
A regular party. Elo, do you trust these people?
Elo is going to look at both Verse and Beegax and say, with my life. Now, would you mind? And they're going to hold this bolt up. Like, can you take this off now?
I would like to keep the restraining bolt on for now, if you don't mind.
Beegax looks very confused. Well, why? They're a medical droid. Not an assassin droid. They don't got any big guns.
Droids can be sliced into, manipulated into doing all kinds of things that they may not even be aware of. They could be bugged, transmitting a signal back to somewhere or someone. I have not seen Elo in a long time, and I have not met any of you. Even though you don't seem like much of a threat, it's a little suspicious, and I am overly cautious. And whether you meant to or not, you have compromised this whole place for me, which I am kind of upset about.
Well, if you think we compromised it, you should be more mad at your contacts. You got that guy on Bothan. You got, what's his name, Placebo, the Hutts. Hell, maybe even the Triumvirates. They might know who you are. All of them were more than willing to help us out to find you.
Placebo is the one who gave you the information, didn't he?
Yeah, he was the biggest contributor, you could say.
I will have words with Placebo, but that will be for another time. Okay. And he picks up one of the guns and, like, tosses it at Beegax. And he says, let's go do your ship.
Sounds good. And he grabs the gun. I'm sorry, baby. And he puts it back in the holster.
He puts the hatch and, like, tightens it up and, like, puts the table back where it was. But he does, like, as you're leaving, he does, like, a look around, like, a little, like he's gonna miss this place almost a little bit. He's, like, leading you down the streets, basically, and towards this speeder that he supposedly has. What is everyone doing?
I don't know what this restrictor band looks like.
Oh, the restraining bolt? It's kind of just like, yeah, it looks like a little capsule that's maybe about this big, and it's just like sticking to you, kind of.
It's like a barnacle for droids.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ella's probably, while they're walking, following Gir, fidgeting around with that, seeing if they can sort of like, is this thing old? Can I just pick this off, or is it on there, you know?
Well, the one thing that you can't do is remove it yourself. That's the one.
Then I suppose they're just, like, fidgeting with it.
Like, poking it?
Right, like, what is this new buddy?
Oh, it's like a kid with, like, a loose tooth and just like, If we are walking behind him, I think Beegax would look at the restraining bolt, and try and remember if he has ever removed them off droids, because, you know, he wasn't a good kid. He was one of the bad guys back on
Malastair?
Malastair, yeah, Malastair. Damn, I forgot the name of my own planet.
Hey, it happens.
But yeah, I want to try and see if I can remove it without him noticing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, roll me a... I mean, I think it's a stealth check to see if you can remove it unnoticed.
Stealth is 4 greens, and what am I rolling against?
That's still pretty good. We'll call it... I think it's average with a black die.
Oh boy. Oh, that's good. 1 success.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me how you remove that bolt all quiet like.
So the first thing I do is I try to build a little bit more distance from him. Like I'll put my hand out in front of Elo as we're walking down what I assume is like this compact, tight neighborhood district, or like there's a bunch of buildings together, but it's a pretty peaceful street. There are occasional people every now and then. Beegax puts his hand out like, wait a second. And as they maybe get 3 or 4 steps further behind the group, he's gonna pull out like just like a the way people have Swiss Army knives, they'll probably have something that's like the equivalent, but it's like a unkept version, very cheapo version that he probably uses. Like, well, I'm gonna pick my gunk out of my nails, and it's that gross little thing, and I'll pull that out, and he'll quietly, while still looking forward as they stop for a second, just try to pop it off.
Yeah, and it comes off in your hand, and Elo, foom, 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 those program overrides are gone now.
All right, and Elo's gonna move whatever sort of strap, or if we've got these cloaks still, over wherever this barnacle was.
Yeah, you do have cloaks. It's a little, I would say it's a little odd for a droid to wear a cloak, but it's not like totally strange. So you can like have this cloak and just kind of like cinch it up. Yeah,
definitely. And it's canon that Elo likes to be cozy and fashionable, so
oh, okay.
Even though they're a droid, no.
Yeah. Hey, no, do it for the fashion. It's called fashion, sweetie. Look it up.
Star Wars, but make it fashion.
Suddenly a runway appears out in front of you, and there are flashing lights. I'm going to need you to roll me an agility check to strike a pose. And you have this bolt in your hand now, Beegax, for whatever it's worth. You have a restraining bolt.
I'm going to put it in my bag.
Your bag of many things. It's got like fake lightsaber, bolt.
It's not fake, it's missing stuff. It's like a old cardboard ramen bowl that I took from the other place.
Yeah. Like a punch card for free noodles. So as you're doing this, Gir is sort of like, he's just sort of like talking. He's like, so you said you were fighting pirates and everything. What happened while you were looking for me? Why was it so urgent?
Beats me. Just follow this one. And he points to Elo. I owe my life. They saved me. As for the pirates, well...
Wait. Oh, there's a life that's going on here in the mix? You don't just throw out a detail like that and just gloss over it, my friend.
Oh, yeah. I got shot a couple times. Bounty hunter was chasing me.
A bounty hunter?
What was that?
A bounty hunter, you say?
Yeah, he's dead now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And you are alive, and that is what matters.
Exactly, yeah.
See? We are not so different, you and I. You would have made me kick my gun over as well.
Well, I might have asked you to put it on the table. Kicking it's a good idea. I'm not that, I don't have that kind of foresight. Plus, if things got real bad, you know what they say about Dougs, right? We're pretty good with our fists. I would have just ran up to you fast enough and beat your face until it became a pulpy mess.
You would have tried.
I've never fought a Bothan before, and I don't plan on doing it.
Okay, so enough limb measuring. Bounty hunter, why was this bounty hunter after you? What transgression?
Yeah. He's gonna look at Elo like waiting for a response, because I'm assuming Elo can hear us talking.
Oh yeah, this is just conversation as you're walking down the street.
So he'll be looking at Elo like, should I tell him? But like that face, like a grimace, like.
Okay, I have to quickly separate what Elo would do and what Jamie would do, because I don't trust this guy, but Elo does. So Elo will probably just, like, smile over at Beegax, in whatever way that would take shape as a droid. I don't know.
God.
Your little waveform probably just turns into a smile.
A little smiley face, yes.
Oh, I can't get that image out of my head. It's just like, and it's like, I imagine it's like a little, like it's a little too big almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mistrustingly
Scary.
so.
Yeah.
It's like a little creepy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they smile over, he'll turn back. Yeah, I used to work for the ISB.
An Imperial.
Well, I used to. And as far as, like, us versus them thing, I never really felt like I was an Imperial. They fed me, gave me a cot, gave me the technical skills I have now, but they don't really consider you family if you don't look like them.
I have worked jobs for the Imperials before. And yes, as a non-human, they give you the barest minimum of resources. And even less respect. But it is work, and it usually pays well.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I met one of my good friends. And then he'll slowly, he'll stop mid-sentence and think about it for a second, and then shake it off. But yeah,
And you just hear, like, in his mind, like, Tatooine or Tatooine? I can't remember.
Fucking He'll continue. I had a superior. He took my work, claimed it as his, got promoted. So I did the only reasonable, sensible thing, and I stole Imperial equipment, left, did odd jobs for good pay, slowly was getting caught up to. Then they sent the bounty hunter. He almost killed me. Elo killed them. And here we are, looking for you. Oh, yeah, and then there were pirates. On the way to Socorro, we ran into them. I forget their name. They had this one guy who spoke with a really weird accent. He doesn't like me and I don't like him because I've blown up at least 2-3 of his nice ships.
That is interesting. It's quite a journey that you have made. What is the name of this Imperial that was your commander or whatever, if I may ask?
Gir Tu'Tey. He's probably an agent now. He's probably been promoted. Oh, he actually was promoted. There was a big news blast about it all over the HoloNet. I don't know why. But, yeah, that's him.
Well, he is here now, on Socorro.
Huh. That wouldn't have anything to do with the obligation roll I rolled earlier, would it? So yeah, when he hears this, he'll kind of shudder. What?
I'm sure you have noticed the cruiser up above planet and the stormtroopers that can walk in and out of the walled city whenever they please. That is him. He's here. Perhaps he is looking for the thing you stole from him.
No, that got blown up. And there were a few Imperials there, so they probably found it and assumed I was dead or that I ran away and left it there. Which actually would make things worse because then that means I escaped from the Imperials twice. And I had their gear and now it's broken. So they probably want to break me. Yeah.
Well, so we both are invested in keeping a low profile.
Oh, yeah, that goes without saying, buddy.
This is good. This is very good to know. I'm glad we are talking now.
Yeah, me not so much, because I forgot that Bothans, or at least from those in the spy network, are pretty good at getting information, and I basically just gave you everything. And he's gonna say it, like, with a half-cocked smile.
This is just conversation between, just people walking together down the street.
Huh. Alright. And then Beegax will think about it like, no, it's not.
Verse is gonna be so jealous Beegax found a new BFF.
No, that's Verse official title, BFF. This guy's not my BFF yet. Verse didn't make me kick my guns over to her.
Yeah, this whole time Verse is just like, she's staying relatively quiet, but she's just she's keeping her eye open on this whole thing, doing her best to hide a disruptor rifle, like, in her big coat as you make your way. Gir addresses Elo. So, how was it? The final time that you spent with Borsk?
I think Elo is going to is going to recall those last few weeks and months with Borsk. He was doing okay at first, but then everything sort of took a turn, and he went rather quickly. The service was lovely, though, and there were many attendants.
I see. So, he went quickly, but you're saying there was time. He could have contacted me, told me something.
I suppose, though I must admit it was very hard for us to get a hold of you. I'm not sure he, in that state, would have been able to.
Elo, if Borsk really wanted to get in touch with me, he could. You know that. Even if it was difficult.
Well, I suppose the message aboard the ship will let us know more about what his final thoughts and messages to you were.
I can't wait. And when he says this, it's sort of like I imagine you've known Gir for a while. And when he's talking with Elo, he's sort of slipping into, like, regressing a little bit. Like, you can sort of see him as a younger, less mature person, especially when he's, like, talking about Borsk. And you see this, like, wash over him for a little bit, being almost like a petulant child a little bit. But he kind of just shakes it off and says, So, how do you like being back on Socorro? It's been a while.
Ella's going to think back to that room, because I wish that we had been able to look around there a little bit, but,
You can always go back in your mind.
That's true. But Ella's just gonna say, well, you heard that we didn't have the best luck on or off planet. The journey here has been quite tiresome. Though being in that room reminded me of when I first met you.
It's been a while since we acquired you. I mean, and you've gone through some changes too, obviously. We changed out the head. I don't like those bug heads, you know, but I think it looks good. I mean, you have taken some knocks though, Elo. You look kind of terrible, to be honest.
No shit.
Well, I'd say time hasn't been kind to either of us.
Ouch.
And Elo is going to, like, sort of jokingly give one of those little punches into the shoulder that you do.
Ow, droid metal. I didn't know you had sort of an adventurer streak in you. You trade in running around smuggling and picking up refugees with Borsk for shooting up pirates and running from bounty hunters with these people you found on the street? And now you've got a life debt?
The times, they are a-changin'.
He just sort of, like, nods with you in agreement.
So, you've heard a little bit about our adventure. What have you been up to, Gir? Why are you hiding?
That is classified. Or it will cost you a lot of money, but I don't think you can afford me for that kind of information.
I at least had to give it a go.
Can't say you didn't try, huh? While you're having this conversation, you are sort of like walking in the middle of this street, and it's sort of like a main thoroughfare, and suddenly there is laser fire.
Oh!
And it barely misses you, Beegax. It just goes right by and hits into like a nearby building, causing some of the building material to explode out. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, 3 success.
2 success.
Oh, wow. We're doing great.
It goes NPC, PC, NPC, PC, NPC, NPC. We've got PCs kind of in the middle there, and 2 of those NPC slots are going to be Gir and Verse. So they are there to assist, to help out, and as always, like, if you have something specific that you need them to do, you can always let me know. Okay, so we're about to go into an encounter here, and it's going to be very theater of the mind. So imagine with me, I want to try and set this up so we all have the same kind of idea. Imagine the Space West. Like, you're on this, like, kind of long, straight main street, and it is leading south towards the gates of Cjallysce'i. North, the way you came, are the mountains and the big pyramid structure that you can see from almost anywhere in the city. So that's where you're coming from. There are streets sort of like northeast and northwest that feed into this like main street that you are now on. That is where you have come from. And after this long stretch of Main Street, those streets like split off again, roughly heading south, sort of like southeast, southwest, sort of like going around buildings and stuff that are there. On the sides, there can be buildings, they can be homes. I would say there's nothing more than like 3 stories tall, but we can fill it in with what it is, so like maybe as needed or whatever. And to that end, I need a detail about this setting from each of you to like fill this in. And that could be something that's advantageous, it could be something that's disadvantageous, it could be something that's just flavor. So Alex, tell us one thing about this like arena that you now find yourself in.
I am going to take a page from one of my favorite episodes of The Madalorian and say that there is a hover truck littered and the back of it's filled with just commercial goods. And there are like 2 Socorrans, so the 2 humans, and one of, what are they called? You know what? There's a roadie in there. They're unloading the cargo. It's like either they work at the shop or they work for the cargo company that's shipping this stuff. And the cargo, if we really want to get down to the nitty gritty, it's just like stuffed animals. It's just like little wooden toys, tchotchkes for kids.
It's like carved monarchs.
Yeah.
Like stuffed monarchs and stuff.
Yeah.
They're dropping them off at the orphanage.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
No.
Oh, there's an orphanage nearby.
Oh, no.
Yep. We gotta put some stakes in this, you guys.
Okay. Okay, so there's an orphanage. I am going to flip a dark side point, and I'm gonna say there are some orphans out like playing in the street in front of this.
Oh god, there is an orphanage. Okay, this is happening.
Oh no.
No, this is like the backstory for one of our characters from the next Respect the Crit storyline.
Okay, Jamie, do you want to say that bringing that orphanage into is the thing that you're describing here, or did you have something else?
I'll add on to the orphanage idea for sure, because this is near the main street. I want the orphanage to have like a really almost depressing little playground, for the orphans to play on right out front. There's like a little decrepit swing set where Sally swings every Saturday, waiting for her new parents to come and pick her.
Why are you doing this, Jamie?
God, yeah, okay, like so.
Oh my god.
So it's gotta be like because Cjallysce'i is like they do like ship maintenance and modding. So it's got to be like their playground is a bunch of like rusted and broken chip parts, that's like it's been polished to like be kind of a slide, and like there's like a rope hanging off of something that's just creaking metal, and like there's a lot of sharp edges and jagged things on this.
But it would be great to like find cover under because it's like a metal structure. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's very good. Okay, so we've got a hover truck that is down the street, and they are unloading tchotchke cargo. There's a Rhodian and a Socorran just sort of like lifting boxes. There's probably like an R2 unit like driving the thing, right? Like the truck, the truck from Madalorian.
Yeah, I envisioned him doing that.
Yeah, so there's like a little R2 unit that looks kind of like rusty and beat up that's beeping and booping at this.
Also, the R2 unit is actually, it's an R4. It's the old red ones with the fucking...
Oh, the sort of like top, the longer head.
The tapered rectangle top.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Got an R4.
He's like the obsolete navigation unit or astrogation unit that's now been demoted to driving trucks.
Yeah. And then there are a bunch of Socorran children. Actually, I think if they're orphans, there's probably a lot of humans, but there's probably one or two other species in there. We'll say there's a little Gamoran orphan who's a little like pig alien, a little like pig looking alien. There is a Togrutan, and then there is a Chadrafan.
Oh, like Chai.
And some humans, and they're playing on this rusty stuff.
One more just added little detail.
Sure,
They're playing cops and robbers just because of like ironically of what I believe is about to happen.
Got it. Yeah, they're playing bounty hunters and marks, bounty hunters and marks. I love it. That's very cool. Yeah. The shot is fired. It like hits near you, and you can't see where the shot is coming from, but you know mechanically, for mechanic reasons, that it is medium range away from you. It is an NPC that goes first. So we're gonna say something happens that you do not see. And then it is to a PC slot. The shot is fired, and I think there is like maybe some discharge from that truck, so nobody in the street really registers yet that something has gone down, but all of you do because it was laser fire and it almost hit you. Who wants to go? There's a PC slot.
I will go first if that's okay. I want to look in the direction of where, like the opposite side of where the wall is facing. So where Beegax is like assuming that's where the shot came from, and try and spot where it could possibly have come from. Open window, door, rooftop, whatever.
Yeah, got it. Okay, roll me a hard perception check.
Hard? Oh no, perception's our worst one. Oh, come on. 2 success, 2 disadvantage.
Yeah, you like do a very analytical move where you like see where the shot hit. You know roughly it came from in the opposite direction, naturally, because someone's shooting a laser at you. And you sort of like do the trigonometry in your head or whatever, and look up, and you can see that there is on the far end, so like on the far south end of this arena, there's a building that's kind of 3 stories up. It's like the tallest building of stuff around it, and it's the building that like where the streets begin to split, so it's like that building towards the south, okay, and the streets are splitting to like in front of that building, and it looks like the perfect sniping position.
Gotcha.
Up in it you can see an IG assassin unit with a heavy blaster rifle pointed at you.
Oh joy.
So what do you think the threats are? Oh, maybe, what about this? Maybe Beegax, like, because he sees this, he calls out, and whatever he says to the group also alerts everyone else on the street, and it causes panic to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, cool. So yeah, what does Beegax do when he sees this droid?
He sees and he knows what these are. You know, a few of them would have shown up on Malastare every now and then to do somebody's job, or to do the job somebody sent them on.
Yeah, I should clarify. Sorry. Yeah, it's an IG assassin droid. It's like a tall, spindly, long-looking droid with a gun that has really long arms and legs. It looks like IG-88 from Empire Strikes Back is who's one of the bounty hunters. That's kind of what this droid looks like. Yeah, sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
So he'll see the droid and he knows what these are. And so he just goes, Criff! Assassin droid! And he'll like shout and he'll like be pointing like very loud. Like he doesn't care about the people around him, and then he realizes, oh, whoops. As he looks around and sees the delivery guys kind of like, a panic, drop the boxes. The kids in the street are just looking up at the opposite end of the street where the assassin droid is. And if there are any other people in the street, they're probably running, I would guess. Because now they see this thing just positioned up there with his rifle scoped on me.
Yeah, absolutely. You see people are drawn to your attention. First they look to Beegax shouting, and then they look to where he is pointing, and they recognize this is a dangerous situation. The children are kind of just like freaked out and are sort of like standing still. No one is like coming to get them at the moment, but these two delivery drivers, they know what's up. They're like dropping their cargo and they're getting away. All right, it is to an NPC slot, and I think actually Verse is going to go and she's going to try and take a shot at this thing with the disruptor rifle. So that is just one success. So I think it's like a cool cinematic moment where she like whips open her jacket and like pulls this rifle up and just like spins it up into her hand and points up to where Beegax is looking, like drops to a knee and just like fires a shot, and it blasts and hits this droid. Okay. I'm going to share with you something that I've been doing behind the screen. So the disruptor rifle was gotten for very cheap. And it's been shot by Beegax previously in the tunnel. So I was doing this when you were fighting the things in the tunnels, and it just never came up. But I was rolling percentage dice to see when this thing malfunctions. So Verse like opens up her coat, does this cool move, fires off this shot, and it explodes.
No.
The rifle explodes in her hand, and she takes a massive amount of damage.
No.
And then it is a PC slot.
Verse, no. No, Verse, no. Elo now is aware of where this assassin droid is coming from. And I think after seeing this explosion with Verse, what I want to do, and you can tell me if this takes up my 2 maneuvers or not, is to grab Verse, go behind cover, and then if that takes up my 2 maneuvers, I suppose that's the end of my turn.
Yeah, I would say I think you can grab Verse and pull her down into cover with you. That's I would say that's 2 maneuvers. Yeah, so you could either do 1 maneuver to get into cover, and the second maneuver taking someone with you along with you. Have that be your maneuver and your action, or you could have that be 2 maneuvers and you suffer 2 strain and still have an action available to you.
I currently have 2 strain now. Let me check my.
Oh man, we're so screwed.
So okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the strain. That way I can still have an action. Correct?
Yeah. This is a good time to mention too that you can use rolled advantages to recover strain.
Okay.
Yeah, as you roll them.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna take Verse down into cover. And I don't know how much damage she just took from this explosion, but I would think that a close encounter explosion in your own arms is pretty bad. So Elo's gonna try to heal them with one of these med packs.
You just let me know how much heal that is. And then I'm gonna ask you for what the cover is and like where you are, just so you can like orient us all to where you are now.
What is the difficulty for this medicine check?
Just an average check.
All right, here we go. 3 successes, 1 advantage.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Elo is going to see this rifle explode in Verse's arms, and I just sort of picture it's like when a firecracker goes off in somebody's hand. So it probably did a lot of damage, and I picture Verse sort of wailing amongst this laser fire. You just hear like this scream of like, ah, because she's in so much pain. And Elo's going to quickly react and sort of like run up and push Verse down behind some little fence of some building, like a metal sheet fence, and is going to grab Verse's arms and begin to perform this medicine check. And it's 3 successes, so that's 3 points of damage plus my 3 ranks of surgeon.
6. Got it. Okay.
And Elo's just going to, in the calmest tone that they can muster, "Don't worry, you're going to be all right."
And I imagine it's like all of a sudden like several needles come out. It's like pain suppressor, like tissue heal, like sink, sink, sink.
Yeah, and some sort of foam that they're putting on like the burn area from this explosion.
Yeah, Verse looks like distraught, but she nods up at Elo, and now you have some partial cover. Cool, excellent. And then you had an advantage. I mean, you could use that to heal a point of strain if you wanted to.
I will do that.
Okay, yeah. Gir is going to hide, is what he's going to do. He's going to sort of like do a spin move and sort of retreat into a building that is directly behind you. What is that building? What do we think that is?
It's the schoolhouse.
Oh no.
It's a schoolhouse. Okay, cool.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah, it's a classroom. We'll say there's no class today, but I imagine there's like all kinds of little art projects up everywhere, you know, like handprints of a bunch of like different humans and like aliens. Like there's some that are like 3 fingers and stuff.
I'm getting a very Children of Men vibe when I think of this schoolroom.
It really sucks for those orphans that they have to like, there's such close proximity with a schoolhouse where there's kids that are like flaunting their housed status around.
Look what I made! I'm gonna show my parents.
yeah.
It's convenient though. Orphans still have to go to school.
Sure.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. They do
Right
still
across
have to
the
go to
street.
school. In Star Wars, they do. That happened. So who's left out? It's Beegax. You're sort of like standing out there, right?
Middle of the road. I'm just on the ground. Or I'm not on the ground, sorry. I'm in the middle of the road pointing.
Okay. That's 3 successes and 2 advantages.
Oh my god.
So that is going to be 13 damage.
To me?
To you, yeah.
Holy shit.
So this blast goes off, this heavy blaster fire, and this time it hits.
Yeah.
Where does it hit, Beegax?
Probably square in the chest. I mean, it's just like, that's a direct hit with, you said 13 damage? So I envision it just hitting him square in the chest. And he just gets knocked back a little, not a lot.
The assassin droid's sensors spin around its head, readjusting from the rifle scope to confirm the hit. Elo, hunkered down in cover, turns their head to look. Coarse sand blows across the street as orphans and denizens flee for safety. Beegax's features contort in pain. Acrid smoke rises around his long face, and the sun burns as hot and red as the blaster burn on Beegax's chest. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Elo is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
Let your friends know that I have shiny Charmanders.
You have a shiny Charmander?
You have shiny Charmanders?
What?
He's trying to trade on Pokemon Go.
I haven't played Pokemon Go in like years.
4 shiny Charmanders.
He has 4 shiny Charmanders. I forgot to tell my sister, but I promise I will.
Julian, we should.
I'll ask my friends.
Yeah, Julian, we should be Pokemon Go friends. Dang.
Ian plays Pokemon Go, and he says you should be friends.
I agree.
Why are you talking so
Yeah, you can talk
creepily?
normal. I don't know why.
We're talking about like Pokemon Go and the tone matched.
It's because usually we're recording, so he's like trying to whisper.
Oh,
Whisper about the shiny
No, we haven't
Charmander.
started yet.
Okay.
I mean, I have.
If you
Me
want,
too.
I can give you a shiny Charmander.
He's so cute. He's been talking about his shiny Charmanders all morning, you guys.
That's the wholesome content I'm here for.